Hello children, good morning. Today let us revise sense organs. What are the sense organ? The sense organ enables us to be aware of the conditions of our external as well as internal environment. There are five main sense organs: eyes, ears, tongue, nose and skin. Now the receptors. Receptors is any specialized tissue or cell sensitive to a specific stimulus. They are of five types. Mechanoreceptors are receptors for touch, pressure of skin due to mechanical change. Another one is chemoreceptors, receptors of taste of the tongue and smell of the nose due to chemical influences. Photoreceptors are rods and cones of the retina of eye due to light. Thermoreceptor are heat and cold receptors in the skin due to change in temperature. And phonoreceptors, receptors of sound, receptors of hearing. Now we are having eyes. Eyes, there are two eyes. They are located in deep socket or orbits in front side of the head. Eyelids, upper and lower, movable eyelids. You are knowing about that, and they protect the outer surface of the eyes and shut out light. Eyebrows are there. Virtually that is not a part of eye, but it worked as the protective, means it prevent the raindrops or the trickling perceptions from getting in the eyes. Tear glands, these are located at the upper sidewall portion of orbit. They will ask the location of tear gland. They are located at the upper sidewall portion of the orbit. As we know, tear glands mainly secreted tears. There is given the functions of tear. First, lubricate the surface of the eye, wash away dust particles, help in killing germs, and communicate emotions. Conjunctiva, thin membrane that cover the entire front part of the eye. It is continuous with the inner lining of the eyelids. Over the cornea, it is reduced to a single layer of transparent epithelium. You must have often heard of a very common eye disease that is called conjunctivitis, in which the outermost layer turn red due to viral infection. Now there is given the structure of eyeball. Just see, three main part are there. One is outer sclerotic, another one is choroid, and the next one is retina. Sclerotic, the first layer, sclerotic is given there in the diagram. You just see here, it is sclerotic. So it is made of tough fibrous tissue and it is white in color. It buzzes out and become transparent in the front region where it covers the colored part of eye. This part is called cornea. Sometimes the cornea of some patients turn opaque, white and non-functional. In such cases, the defective cornea can be replaced by a healthy cornea from a donated eye. There is given the donation of eye. Actually, the donation of eye is mainly the donation of the cornea. Another one is the choroid layer. It is richly supplied with blood vessels for providing nourishment to the eye. Choroid layer. It contains dark black pigment that is called melanin, and it prevents light rays from reflecting and scattering inside of the eyes. The front part of the eye, the choroid, expand to form the ciliary body. The smooth muscles in the ciliary body alter the shape of the lens. There is given after iris. Iris is also an extension of choroid, partially covering the lens and leaving a circular opening in the center. The pupil, the blue-brown or black color of the eye refer to the color of the iris. It means the color of the eye depend upon the color of the iris. And pupil name has been derived from the Latin word pupa, means doll, which in this context refer the tiny image of oneself seen in the reflected of another eyes. Sometimes we see our image on others eye, that is due to pupil. And the adjustment of the size of pupil regulate the amount of light entering the eyes. The next one is given, the third part is given retina, innermost layer of the innermost layer, and it is sensitive to the light. It contains two types of sense cells, rods and cones. Rod cells, they are active or they sensitive to dim light but do not respond to color. They contain the pigment rhodopsin. This you have to learn. The rod cells contain the pigment rhodopsin. Cones, they are sensitive to bright light and they contain the pigment iodopsin. Now there is given yellow spot, the area of best vision. Yellow spot is the place of best vision of the normal eye. This is the reason why you move your eyes from word to word as you read a line through a printed page. So where we see the proper image, that is the yellow spot, and it is also known as macula lutea or simply yellow spot or fovea centralis. This you have to, fovea centralis. These three names you have to keep in your mind. Blind spot, lateral to the yellow spot. On a nasal side of the blind spot, there is no sensory cells, so there is the point of no vision, that is called blind spot. Now the lens. Lens is a transparent biconvex crystalline body located just behind the pupil. It contains transparent lens fibers. The lens is collectively held in position by fibers, that is called suspensory ligament, and which is attached to the ciliary body. The ciliary body lies at the junction of the choroid and the iris and is itself a part of the choroid. The ciliary body contains muscles which on contraction and relaxation change the shape of the lens for viewing objects at different distances. Two chambers are given there, two chambers of the eyes, aqueous and vitreous. Aqueous, this is the front chamber. Between the lens and cornea it is present, and it keeps the lens moist and protected from physical shock. It also reflects light. The another one is vitreous chamber, and vitreous chamber serve two functions. It keep the shape of the eyeball and protect the retina. Now how we see? How do we see? First, light entered in our eyes, entry of light rays, and through lens it focus the image on retina. The image is formed inverted and real, and then transmission of nerve impulse from retina to brain. The nerve impulse show it first carry it to brain, and the brain show it straight, and interpretation by the brain. Our brain interprets the image in many ways. It see the object upright even if the image formed is inverted. Now accommodation. The process of focusing the eye to see objects at different distance is called accommodation. For distance vision, the lens is more flattened, means concave, and for near vision it becomes more convex or rounded. These changes brought about by the ciliary muscles. Light and dark adaptation, as I told you, rod pigment, rods, the pigment rhodopsin is responsible for the dark adaptation. Rhodopsin is also known as visual purple, and in that time the dilation of pupil is there, which permit the more entry of light in the eyes. And in light adaptation, cones active, and cones show the color of the object and we see the image properly. Color vision. color vision is the defect in which we cannot make out the red, violet or purple flower in a garden on a moon night, because then only the rods function and not the cones. So this is the color vision in which we cannot differentiate the color mainly during moon night, that is color vision. Now some common defects are given there. First, nearsightedness, in which we can see near object properly but cannot see the far object. So distant objects appear blurred in this case, and the reason of myopia, this is also known as myopia, nearsightedness. The reason, first, the eyeball is lengthened from front to back, and second, the lens is too curved. And for its correction, convex lens is used. Now just see, in this case, concave lens is used. Just see, concave lens is used in the correction of myopia. The another defect is farsightedness or hyperopia. In this case, you just see, convex lens is used, and in the farsightedness or hyperopia, it is the condition in which we cannot see nearby object. Just see in the first image, first diagram, the rays cut after the retina, so we cannot see it properly. So in this case, convex lens is used. So in the myopia, concave lens is used, and in the hyperopia or hypermetropia, convex lens is used. Astigmatism, the another defect. The defect, it is a defect in which some part of the objects are seen in the focus while other is blurred, and this is arise due to uneven curvature of cornea, and this is corrected by the cylindrical lens. Presbyopia, it is mainly in the older people who cannot see near objects clearly, and it is again corrected by the convex lens. The another one is cataract. It is the condition in which the lens turn opaque and the vision is cut down even to total blindness. So it can be corrected by surgically removing the lens and by using spectacles with highly convex lenses, compensating for the missing lens, or in the newer technique, a small plastic lens is implanted behind or in front of the iris. Night blindness, it is a condition in which a person feel difficult to seeing in dim light during the night. This is due to non-forming of the pigment visual purple of the rods. Only rods function in dim light, and in the absence of the pigment they cannot function. This is usually due to the deficiency of vitamin A. Color blindness, it is also a condition in which people by birth cannot discriminate between certain colors such as red and green, and this is due to genetic defect. Mostly males suffer from this defect, whereas it rarely occurs in female. The another one is corneal opacities. The cornea of some patients gets scared and turns opaque and non-functional. Such defects can cause anything from minor irritation to vision problems and even blindness. In such cases, the defective cornea can be replaced by a healthy cornea from a donated eye. Another one is squint. In this defect, the two eyes somewhat coverage leading to what is called cross eyes. An opposite condition appears when they diverge and is called the white eye. Both conditions may cause double vision or diplopia. Surgery and suitable exercise can correct these defects. Stereoscopic or binocular vision. All monkeys, apes, and particularly humans can perceive depth or the relative distance of the objects. This is due to simultaneous focusing of an object in both eyes, and their image by a kind of overlapping in the brain gives the three-dimensional effect. The another one is after images, the basis of motion of pictures. If one look at a bright object for a moment and then close the eyes, the sensation of light persists for a short period. In the same way, if one look at a bright colored object and then looks at a dark surface, an image of the object in the same color will persist, and this is known as persistence image or after image. So in a movie, pictures are projected on the screen of the rate of about 24 pictures per second, but we cannot see the individual frame on account of the after image in our eyes. The lifelike continuous movement of the screen is an illusion. So this is the after image. So dear children, today we have revised this part, the eyes of sense organ. You have to revise it once again. You read it from your book. Thank you.